Welcome to the Voices of Young People podcast, brought to you by Springtide Research Institute. In each episode, we hear directly from young people as they respond to our research and share about the issues impacting their lives. As sociologists and researchers, we see a new story unfolding for young people, one that moves beyond traditional institutional boundaries and requires careful attention to the inner and outer lives of emerging generations. At the intersection of being and becoming, it's the Voices of Young People.
Hey everybody, Josh Packard here, Executive Director, Springtide Research Institute. As you know, if you've been listening along, this is season 3 of the Voices of Young People podcast. And and putting this podcast together is generally one of the highlights of my job, and one of the things that gets me most excited about the work we do here at Springtide. And as you know, if you've been listening to the other seasons, it's usually me in conversation with another young person, and we're doing this interview style. But for this season, for season 3, in support of our State of Religion and Young People 2020 report, we've decided to just remove the interviewer from the equation altogether, so you get to hear firsthand directly from a young person how their faith intersects with their life, how it influences their decisions, or some places where maybe it doesn't influence their decisions, but you might expect it to. And this episode is no different. In this one, which I'm super thrilled for you to be able to hear, Chaltu is going to describe the ways that she practices and honors her faith as a Muslim woman, how the guiding principles of Islam give meaning to her life, and why the young people in her community see their sheikh as a trusted mentor. And I think this is so important to get this first-hand account of how and why a particular adult can take on that position and status as trusted in the life of a young person, because that's what so many of us are after. We genuinely want to be a positive impact in the life of a young person, but sometimes we just don't know how. And our research at Springtide is here to uncover those pathways, and this is one really great first-hand example to being able to understand how that dynamic works. All right, without further ado, here is Chaltu.
Hi, my name is Chaltu and I use she, her pronouns. I am 17 years old and born and raised in Denver, Colorado. I love hanging out with my friends in the Oromo community of Colorado. I attend George Washington High School and I will be a senior this year. My religious belief is Islam. I am Oromo, which is the largest ethnic group in Ethiopia. One important club I am involved in is the Beautiful Black Girls Club. This is important to me because it reminds me of why I matter in the world as a beautiful black hijabi girl. The word hijabi means face or body covering worn by a Muslim woman that conforms to Islamic standards of modesty. I identify as a Muslim woman. I would describe my religion as peaceful and respectful because when it comes to our daily practices, it emphasizes a lot about being clean by doing something called wudu 5 times a day before our daily prayers. Wudu is making sure our whole body is clean, where we will wash our face 3 times, wash our hands 3 times, wash our feet 3 times, and etc. It makes me feel cleansed physically and mentally. Also, in my religion, it is in our deen to always be respectful and be kind to everyone around us, which makes me feel good about Islam because it does not condone violence, so it can push me to be more positive in the world and towards the people around me. Islam is peace to me because throughout my whole entire life as being a Muslim, I was always taught to never condone any type of violence to anybody, treat everybody with respect, because you always want to treat someone how you would want to be treated. When I think of God, I think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is who I believe in the Islam religion, because he is the only one I worship, because I believe he is the most merciful and gracious to all mankind. I have a fear of God because he is the one who created me and can take me anytime. Everywhere I go, I can also vision him because he's the only one that can lead and protect me from anything. I have participated in a house of worship called Colorado Oromo Muslim Community Center, where I go to Friday prayers, which is called Jummah. I usually go when I do not have school, and also due to the COVID-19, it is really difficult for me to go to the Jummah Friday prayers. Jummah prayers are really important to me because I feel like praying as a community every Friday helps me strengthen my worship with Allah. It's usually led by an imam, which is someone who recites Quran verses in the Holy Quran. Listening to the imam read the surahs in the Quran helps me connect to Allah more. I feel spiritually with Him when I hear the Quran being read. The most sacred experience I ever had was when I first completed reading the whole Holy Quran at the age of 10 in 5th grade. This was really sacred for me because I have never accomplished something so big in my religion. So completing that just made me feel really connected to God and understand my religion so much. I was with my sheikh, who's a teacher. He helped me finish reading the whole Quran. And I remember how I was really nervous reading the last verse of the Holy Quran. And just finishing that last verse that day just made me feel really relieved because it took a lot of time, a lot of practice. I was reading the Holy Quran for about, I would say, 5 years. So finishing that just made me feel like I was getting a sign from Allah to just keep on the right path of life with my deen. Another thing I do to practice my faith is we're doing one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which is zakat. I am part of an MSA group, which is Muslim Student Association. And one day we decided to feed the homeless, where we met at the Holy Mosque. And what we did was basically pack lunches and juices and snacks. And after we were done doing that, we all head down to downtown and passed out food bags to the homeless. This really made me feel good about myself because just seeing someone else happy made me more happy about myself and being more proud of being a Muslim. Another thing that helps me connect to Allah is Ramadan fasting. Ramadan fasting is another 5 pillars of Islam. Ramadan happens one time a year where throughout the whole entire month we fast. We would wake up before sunrise and eat, which would be called suhoor. And we would fast until the sunset, which would be called iftar. During this Ramadan fasting, it really helps me think about the sins I have done in my life and helps me cleanse myself and repent to Allah, because it's a great opportunity to get closer to the deen and closer to my iman. Because you never know when life is going to be over. You know, everything's really temporary. So having the opportunity to do Ramadan fasting kind of makes me feel really good about myself in the end of the month, because I kind of feel cleansed and like fresh, you know. At the end of the fasting, we would also have a religious holiday called Eid. Eid is a really special time for me and my family, because this is a time where we get to celebrate. We just finished fasting. We would go to an Eid prayer in our community, and after that we would hang out with our family, bring food to one another's houses, give gifts, and just spend quality time with our loved ones. I see a positive influence in my religion in life, because when I go through tough times in life, having faith and trust in Allah motivates me to never give up and understand that life is temporary and nobody's perfect. So I always just like to see it as do my part and do as much as I can, and then just leave the rest to Allah, because He can guide me to what's best for me. Growing up, I had a Quran teacher named Sheikh Qasim. He helped me finish reading the Holy Quran for the first time in 5th grade, like I said previously. He motivated me and mentored me on the right path in life, because back then I was young. I didn't really know much about my religion. So he kind of took me in and really told me to just never give up, even though reading the Quran was really hard because it was written in Arabic. He kind of told me that just always take it one step at a time. So I kind of use that advice in anything I do in life. Just take everything one step at a time. It really shaped me to be a better Muslim woman overall, which I'm really grateful to have him in my life till this day. In my time in high school, he even helped fundraise money to build our Oromo Card Muslim Center, which is really important because not only did that benefit me into finishing the Quran, he also helped other people in my community by mentoring them, giving them good advice. Whenever we felt like we were kind of like off track with our deen, I know I could just go to him and he will give me open arms, the best advice, the best Quran recitations, and much more. He gave genuine love to my whole entire community. He brought the Muslim community together to be united as one and put us in a really good position in our community.
Visit springtideresearch.org to hear more voices of young people and to download the State of Religion and Young People 2020 report, which is free thanks to a very generous donation. Today's show was produced by Marta Abuaji and TJ Birnbaum, with original music by high school student Christian Unthank. Special thanks to our guests today and to all the young people whose perspectives and insights make our research possible. Remember to find us on social media at WeAreSpringtide and share your own stories with the hashtag ShowUpForYoungPeople. Thanks for listening.